Where you are is the result of a series of decisions that you make. Like, look around, look at your environment, look at your friend group, look at your anything going on in your life right now. And that truly is a sum of decisions that you made in a week, in a month, in a year. Am I doing the things that's going to get me to where I want to be? Welcome to another episode of the That's Scary with Meloney P podcast. I'm your girl, Meloney P, and we are here to have a conversation. I have not recorded any videos in the past week or so because I was celebrating my birthday, because that's a celebration, and I took a little bit of time off, a little bit of time away, and I want to talk about my birthday because I had an amazing birthday, but it did not start that way for me mentally, y'all. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you share, follow. Make sure you are subscribed to the What Was Said podcast. We go live every single Thursday. We have call-ins. We have a lot of engagement in the comments with some of our day one people, our family, and we have a time over there. It is definitely given Meloney P After Dark, child, on that podcast. But make sure that you're following the What Was Said podcast on YouTube and on all the streaming platforms, right? So yeah, now my birthday. My birthday, I think like many women, for the past couple of years has been kind of a sore topic for me. I think a little bit mixed of, getting older, maybe not being, where I thought I would be at this age. And the last couple of birthdays, I don't think I was in a celebrating mode for my birthday, and I was headed in that same direction this year. I literally recorded a podcast talking about kind of a depressing podcast. I'm just kind of saying oh my God, I'm not where I'm at. I'm not where I want to be. My birthday is coming around. How did I get here? How did I get here? What mistakes did I make to get here? And for some reason, I was unable to post that episode. Now, when I say unable, I mean, typically when I record an episode, I edit it and then I drop it all on the same day. But for some reason, that depressing ass episode, I recorded it, I edited it, and it's like I kept forgetting to upload it, or I didn't edit it all in one take. It was just weird. It was really, really weird. And I never, ever uploaded it. And in the time between recording that depressing ass video and the couple of days or so that led up to my birthday, I had, how would I explain it? I feel like I don't even know what the onset of it was. I think part of my reawakening was really kind of talking to my therapist. I have talked in the past couple of episodes about therapy and about how I really found a really, really good, amazing therapist, and just talking about how taking the time to find a good therapist that I felt comfortable with, that, I could just talk to, but then have them talk back and have them kind of have a comfortable space for me to organize my thoughts. And then she gave me some really good, really basic, but really good, advice. And she's a Black woman. And I feel having a therapist that's a woman of color, having a therapist that looks like you, that, could be your mama, and kind of gives you that warm space. I am a certified life coach, so I get how it goes. I know that as a therapist, you don't tell people what to do. You don't there's only so much you can do. You kind of lead them to the waters to get to where they need to go, but you're not supposed to say, hey, don't do this, or hey, whatever. Long story short, I found a really good therapist. In those conversations, I started kind of regrouping, looking at life. Just I don't know. I really don't know what the onset of it was, but I will tell you this. I was thinking about last year's birthday, and I was thinking about how depressing it was, honestly. And I was sitting there and I was like, I don't have to be in a bad space. I have a choice. I am not a tree, like I always say. And we make choices every single day that dictates where we are in life. I will say, I don't know if I said it in the video that I didn't post or in my last video, but when you look around at where you are is the result of a series of decisions that you made. You know what I'm saying? And that's where you are right now. Like, look around, look at your environment, look at your friend group, look at your anything going on in your life right now. And that truly is a sum of decisions that you made. So I was like, you know what? Thinking back to that depressing ass video I posted last year on my birthday, thinking about being on the couch, child, and I think I might have been in tears. I was supposed to go to dinner, ended up not going to dinner. My sister-in-law came over. The house was dark. It was giving like a depressing novel. And I remember how I think sometimes as a Libra, as an empath, sometimes we put other people's feelings ahead of ours. And I remember how sad and how uncomfortable I felt like I made my sister-in-law feel when she came to the door with a crab boil, balloons, cards, gifts. And there I am, like, sitting there looking like I'm about to kill somebody. And I thought, you know what? I don't have to be in that space this year. Like, I don't have to be in that space. I have a choice. I had a choice last year. I had a choice the year before. Like, I don't have to be in that space. So I started reading this book, something Atomic Habits. I got some other books I started reading, and I started saying daily mother freaking affirmations every single morning. And every day it's like my brain was being retrained and like all this negative self-talk, all this how did I get here self-talk that was like imprinted in my head. It somehow started to go to the back of the line, and then all the positive affirmations was coming to the front of the line. And then I was getting a domino effect and kind of getting back to who I truly am at the core. And shit changed. My thoughts changed. And like I said, kind of like the order of my thoughts changed. And I had an amazing birthday couple of weeks. I celebrated. I got a hotel by myself. I spent Friday before my birthday all day in a spa. I got a body scrub. I got a massage. I was in a sauna. And I went to a salt room for the very first time. And I just loved on myself. I gave myself that time. You know, I work so damn hard in my 9-to-5 that I always be talking about. And then I have this other business as far as my podcast that I'm trying to invest in. And it's like, girl, you got to invest in yourself, because you're not going to give your podcast, your job, your life, the best version of you if you sitting here in some woe is me energy. And I had an amazing weekend. I think it really kickstarted my birthday. I took myself out to dinner alone, spa alone, hotel suites alone. I was soaking in the bathtub with Whirlpool jet, just really kind of just setting the tone for how I want the remainder of my life to look, because where you are is a sum of decisions that you made to be here. So I don't know your situation. You don't need to know all my, details of my situation. However, my birthday would have been a sum of decisions that I made. I could have went left and been, somewhere sad, hot, and depressed, or I could have went right and did what I needed to do for myself to show up as the best version of myself. So I did that. Now I will say I was supposed to go to the Biltmore area for my birthday, but then a hurricane came and that did not go as planned. But yeah, I feel like the purpose of this video, honestly, in this episode is really to encourage and help someone to look at where they are and be like, where am I? Do I like where I am? Do I like who I see in the mirror? In a week, in a month, in a year, am I doing the things that's going to get me to where I want to be, right? And then also, I have a choice. A lot of this shit is just so, I don't want to say stereotypical, that's not the right word, but a lot of this shit you be seeing on social media, maybe your therapist be telling you this stuff, or maybe people tell you this, or maybe the self-help books tell you this. But there comes a point when something has to click. Years are going by. People are dying every damn day, every week. Somebody is dying. And at the end of the day, it's like, I'm here. I'm here. Create what I want my life to look like. I think also as a Libra, one of the things that has kind of kept me in bondage, which sounds dramatic, is, wanting to have a plan. I wanted to have a plan. By this age, I want to be here. By this age, I want to be here. In a year, I need to be here. And there's nothing wrong with having a plan and working towards it. But I think sometimes, and I know with Libra specifically, we are waiting for that marker. Like, okay, when I turn 35, I want to be here. Or when I'm turned 40, I want to be here. And then if you're not there, it's like you malfunction and you don't know how to regroup. And I feel like, girl, that hasn't benefited me at all. That hasn't benefited me. So it's like, at the end of the day, what the hell do I look like working at a stressful job, working all day, doing all these things for other people. And I'm sitting here just waiting to go to bed, because that's when I get peace. I can get peace all through the day. So I say this to say I am back to the podcast. Make sure that you are here. We have a lot of great things coming down the pipeline. I even feel like, the purpose of my podcast, I know what the purpose was and what the intention was behind starting a podcast. And I feel like I wasn't even giving that because, sometimes you let, and it's your fault. It ain't nobody but your fault. But you have free will. And sometimes you let maybe tradition, or maybe you let, things that you don't have control over control your life. Right? That's one thing my therapist said. She was like, there's a lot of things that you have control over. For example, your birthday, you have control over that. You can make a choice to be in a funk again this year, or you can make an actual choice to be like, you know what? I'm going to celebrate me. I celebrated me. My family celebrated me. My friends celebrated me. I had my last finale birthday dinner last week. I'm going to insert some clips here. Had an amazing time. And I've been in a great place. So at the end of the day, my takeaways for you guys would be, take a look around, see where you are. If it's working for you, great. If it's not working for you, adjust, because tomorrow is not promised. And what the decisions that you're making today is going to dictate where you are tomorrow, where you are next week, where you are in a month, where you are in a year. Period. Point blank. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe to the What Was Said podcast, and I will see you in